Welcome to Vegas Tips and Tricks video podcast. It's part 2 of our exciting best of or favorites of Las Vegas for 2018. Sorry about the voice. I've been a little under the weather the past couple of days. The Christmas season got the best of me. But I hope that you had a great holiday, and of course wishing you a Happy New Year. Of course, a reminder, we will not be with you this Wednesday in order to celebrate New Year's. We will be back next weekend with our part 1 of our top 10 Vegas tips and tricks. That's exciting for the new year. It's Vegas tips and tricks, the very best, coming at you next week. But this week we're going to have 5 new categories, 5 more categories of the best of the favorites of Las Vegas for 2018. And without any further ado, because my voice may not last much past ado, let's go ahead and get started. Our first category is headliner or residency. We're going to go with residency. I think that sounds better. 2018 was kind of a big year, but kind of a transitional year with Las Vegas residencies. Just last night, Friday night, December the 28th, I think, whatever day it was, Lady Gaga premiered, but it's a little early to start ranking her as one of the top 3 residencies of this year. But certainly that's a big event. Aerosmith will be starting their residency as well this spring, this upcoming spring. So some big new ones. Britney Spears will be back. On the other hand, 2 long-time Vegas performers, Celine Dion and Elton John, wrapping up, at least for now, their residencies at Caesars Palace. Britney Spears ended hers at the end of the previous year. So all 3 of our top 3 residencies from last year are no longer performing in Las Vegas. And that is, kind of important if you're going to talk about it. So we've got some interesting choices here tonight. And at number 3, we're going to go with Gwen Stefani. I think a lot of people were skeptical that she would be able to bring in an audience, but she did. Certainly there's a pop R&B element to her solo stuff, but also she did a lot of the No Doubt stuff, so a bit more of a rock-oriented residency than Minnie, and did well enough going forward at the Zappos Theater that she's going to continue on past the initial length of her contract. So we'll drop Gwen Stefani in here at number 3. At number 2, and their residency will be coming to an end towards the middle of next year, but a very successful run also at the Zappos Theater, the Backstreet Boys. Doing even better business in some cases than Britney was doing. So very big show, very successful residency. They're going to be cutting that short, going on tour, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them back in Las Vegas as well. And at number 1, a somewhat niche, somewhat perhaps controversial pick for best residency, particularly since it was only about 10-12 dates back in September. But I'm going to go with Queen, featuring Adam Lambert. Adam Lambert? I can't even pronounce words today. At the Park Theater, by all accounts, one of the best shows, period, in Las Vegas. Part homage, part concert, part, I don't know what you want to say, but, Queen fans, disinterested observers, everyone who's seen this show has raved about the performance, and just great to see this band back and performing. And by all accounts, Adam Lambert has done a tremendous job in that role, not being Freddie Mercury, certainly, but stepping up and performing some of the great songs of the 70s and 80s. So that's my pick for best residency. Secondly, best paid attraction, and there's a lot of things you can pay to do in Las Vegas. I don't know whether all of them qualify as attractions. With apologies to all of the rides and the zip lines and everything else, I did not throw any of those into the mix. Well, I kind of did. Well, you'll see what I mean at the end. But my pick for the number 3 spot, kind of unorthodox, but you have to pay to see it, and that is Red Rock Canyon. Just outside the city limits of Las Vegas. It's in a national park monument, one of those things. You have to throw them $5-10 to go for a drive. Totally worth it. A great sort of respite from all the madness in Las Vegas. You can stop, you can hike. There's all kinds of opportunities to check this place out in great detail. But even if you do nothing but drive through and take a few photographs, Red Rock Canyon is well worth your ducats. Is that how you pronounce that? Who cares? Number 2, my pick for best paid attraction is the Mob Museum. Now officially it's called something else, but if you've not visited the Mob Museum in downtown Las Vegas, it's very close, right across the street from the downtown Grand, over by where Pizza Rock and some of those places are. So check it out. It is fascinating. If you have any interest in the history of Las Vegas, any interest in the history of organized crime, or preferably both, you could spend hours and hours checking out the exhibits. There's some kind of fun interactive exhibits, and recently they've opened up a speakeasy in the basement, which I think you have to have some sort of secret password to get in. And not only do they mix up some vintage cocktails, but there's also some presentations there talking about the history of the cocktail. That's not all the time, but I know that does happen. So I would highly recommend checking out the Mob Museum, my pick for second best paid attraction in Las Vegas. And at number 1, my perennial favorite, controversial as well. Some people enjoy it, some people don't. I love it. It's the High Roller. Yes, it's a giant Ferris wheel, but it's not like a Ferris wheel. When you're inside, you can barely tell you're moving. It gives you amazing views of the Las Vegas Strip and the Valley for a reasonable price. And if you're a drinker and you want to get started on your day, just pony up a few extra bucks for the bar car. You can knock off 6 or 7 cocktails in a half hour. And it's cheaper than going to your favorite slushy joint or the casino bar. And again, just great views of the city, whether you go up during the day or at night. You're going to have a good time. You're going to enjoy it. Just, whatever. I know. It's a view, but it's the best view in town. Beats the Stratosphere, beats the Eiffel Tower. Skip those. Go up in the High Roller. Excuse me again. I'm going to have a little sip of my morning coffee. I'm on the decaf, but I think there's still a little caffeine in it. So, next choice is Reboot, is what I'm going to call this one, and that is anything that's been significantly altered or changed in Las Vegas over the past 12 months that I think is worthwhile. And there's a few honorable mentions here. They've made some, they're starting to make some changes at the SLS, which I think are promising. The revamp of the whole Link tag bar, I'm still a little bit sad about the tag bar, but the whole book concept there is pretty cool. But those are only honorable mentions. My number 3 pick is Spago. Going into the much coveted spot once held by Olives. Spago, many, many years at Caesars Forum Shops, now at Bellagio, with all the same sort of food options, but you now have you're now sitting potentially right next to the fountains, so you've got that incredible view. That's my pick for the number 3 Reboot. The number 2 Reboot is Park MGM, despite many, many hiccups along the way. My favorite place to go check out and make videos, Park MGM, is finally coming along. Most of the shops and restaurants are now open. Well, mostly restaurants. There aren't really any shops there yet. I don't know if there's going to be. The Nomad Hotel on the top floors has been functional for the past several months. And it's now a working hotel. How great a place it is up to you, but they've at least pretty much polished it off now. And so that's my choice for number 2. But number 1, Reboot, is the Palms. They have altered or abolished almost everything at the Palms. The food court's still there. Movie theater's still there. Little sports book really hasn't changed that much, but almost all the restaurants have either been redone or retooled. I think we just opened up the barbecue place that Michael Simon was doing. I think that just opened within the last couple of weeks, or is about to open. But you know, the redone buffet, coffee shop, you've got you know, a number of restaurants and lounges. It looks completely different, but it's still a very cool place. So again, nothing bad to say about what they've done at the Palms, and I'm sure there's still work to do there going forward, but they've made some great changes there, and that's my pick for number 1, Reboot of 2018. Restaurant. I'm not going to tell you with restaurant what the best food in Las Vegas is. You know, I don't know. Do you know? I don't think you know either. You may have your own favorites, your own choices, but the point of restaurant is to give you the 3 restaurants that I thought made the biggest impact on Las Vegas this year. And at number 3, it's been open less than 24 hours, but I'm going to go with Italy. Italy is the Italian shopping, eating experience that has been taking form at the front of Park MGM for many months and is now open. It certainly will draw some foot traffic into that casino or into that hotel complex. I think it's a very interesting idea. It's been done in some other cities, and with some success. We will see how successful it is in Las Vegas, but it's certainly a different food concept, and I think something that's going to draw a lot of attention, not just for a few days, but probably for the next several years. So looking forward to checking that out. I'm putting that as the number 3 restaurant news, restaurant happening of 2018. At number 2, I'm going to go with the Block 16 food court at the Cosmopolitan. Yes, it's a food court, but it's not your traditional Sbarro and Subway. No. There's interesting places that with sort of handcrafted donuts and hot fried chicken and interesting sandwiches, and there's even another one of these speakeasies, which that trend may jump the shark even during the middle of this podcast, but nonetheless, a very interesting food concept at the Cosmo, which is also making some changes, and I really like that change. It adds some casual dining options to a hotel that already has a tremendous selection of food offerings. So that's number 2. Number 1 has got to be, love it, hate it, love him, hate him. Hell's Kitchen had to be the big restaurant event of 2018. Everywhere you went, you heard about it. People loved it, people hated it. I ate there, I loved it. That's all I'm going to say. Overpriced, overblown, sure. Right on the Las Vegas Strip, hard to beat, miss it, hard to beat the location. Food is very good, and certainly an experience, and you couldn't go through a message board, you couldn't go through anybody talking about Las Vegas this past year without hearing something about Hell's Kitchen. My choice for the number 1 restaurant or restaurant event of 2018. Finally, the top 3 stories out of Las Vegas this past year. Well, a lot of choices here. You can always make a lot of choices when you talk about stories. I think a couple of them were really obvious, but the number 3 one, I had a lot of different things going on here. Certainly the changes going on at the Hard Rock were in the mix. But I went at number 3 with something that hasn't even happened yet, but is sort of slowly taking shape, and which I think has a chance to dramatically alter our view of Las Vegas and different parts of Las Vegas, and that is the project at 18 Fremont. Right now it's mostly just a hole in the ground, but from the information that we've received about the hotel and what it's going to be like and what it's going to feature, it will, when it takes shape over the next couple of years, significantly alter Fremont Street and all of downtown, hopefully for the better, but it's certainly going to change things. It's been decades since we've seen a brand new hotel go up on Fremont Street, and I don't know, I'm thinking you may have to go back to the D when it first came into existence as the Sundance, or to the Plaza when it first came into existence, and you're talking about 35, 40, 50 years ago. So this is going to be a big change. The footprint is going to be enormous. It's going to really, like I said, it's going to alter your perception of what you see when you go downtown, and promises to be possibly the resort to see. So that's my pick at number 3. Number 2 is the struggling casinos. That's right, both Caesars and MGM have had disappointing earnings this year. There's much sort of wringing of hands and concern about this. Despite record numbers of visitors, the profits are down at some of these big casino companies. And you're starting to see some reaction to that, maybe some backing off on some of the fees, trying to give some of the customers a little bit better value, which would be a good thing. But we'll see how this continues into 2019. But if the major casino companies continue to sort of bleed money and continue to face downturns, you may see some sell-offs. You may see some dramatic changes in the way that they are marketing their product to you. So we'll see how that goes going forward, but I think that was a big story throughout the year, is the struggles of the big casino companies. But I got to pick the number 1 story out of Las Vegas this year were the Golden Knights. Going all the way from an expansion team to the Stanley Cup Finals, disappointingly not winning it all, but that was the biggest story in Las Vegas, I think, both for locals and for visitors. If you were in or around Las Vegas during any of those playoff series, certainly anywhere in the neighborhood of the T-Mobile Arena, it was a huge deal. And I think the clear choice for the number 1 news story of 2018, thank goodness it was a positive news story that finishes out our list. So there you go. Part 2 of my best of favorites of Las Vegas for 2018. Thanks so much for watching. If you've managed to sit through it this long, my dozens of loyal fans, I appreciate all of you. And a reminder, there will not be a video again on Wednesday, but we will be back next Saturday. So again, Happy New Year. Thanks so much for watching this today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon here on Vegas Tips and Tricks. So long.